Hello, this is Gary Martin. Welcome to episode 1 of the Tiffany Wilburn series. Really excited about this episode with Tiffany. I met Tiffany through Byron Thompson. Byron also has a series on Circulate. After you listen to Tiffany's episode, feel free to check out Byron's episode also on the website. Byron is a property manager in Cleveland, Ohio. He has a great first episode. Please check it out. Now back to Tiffany. Tiffany's first episode, she will talk about her journey to becoming a yoga instructor, as well as her journey to starting her skincare product line called A Seed. Tiffany will also discuss some things that she uses in terms of meditation and her affinity for fostering more peace and I would say tranquility and kind of calmness in people and helping people deal with anxiety. So hope you enjoy the episode. Once again, this is episode 1 of the Tiffany Wilburn series on Circulate. Enjoy.
Thank you, Gary. So my name is Tiffany Wilburn, and I am the owner of Living Lightly Lifestyle, which is a wellness business based here in Cleveland, Ohio. I started the business right after the birth of my son because I was pretty burnt out in terms of giving, and I needed something to fill my cup once again. So I actually started a yoga teacher training here in Northeast Ohio. And when I finished with teacher training, I was really motivated to give back to the community because I had learned so much about wellness in general and holistic healing. So in order to give back, you have to start a business. You have to be an independent contractor. And so that's when I took the next step and created Living Lightly Lifestyle, which is not just about yoga. It's also sound healing, scent, light therapy. It's really about holistic relaxation. And part of that holistic relaxation is, like I mentioned, scent or aromatherapy. So about 6 months ago, I created a product line that was inspired by this effort to relax, and it is called A Seed. So I am very busy between servicing clients here in the Northeast Ohio area, but also nationally distributing A Seed, which is a aromatherapy skincare brand.
Okay. Now, could you take me back to your time doing the yoga teacher training, the yoga teacher training? What's the requirements of that? How much time did you spend doing that? What was your experience like during that time?
Yeah, so it was a really intensive process. Every Sunday from 8:30 to 6, August through December, I was in a tiny little room, probably 300 square feet, with 6 other people who were really passionate about wellness, essentially. And the teacher training program that I participated with was very inclusive of all wellness modalities. So we talked about and learned about acupuncture. I'm not a certified acupuncturist, but we definitely, have a fundamental understanding of why it supports people through their healing process. We talked about a lot of Eastern healing modalities and how you can incorporate a variety of yoga practices. So there's so many different types of yoga, whether that be power or kundalini or Kemetic yoga. So it was all inclusive.
Now, so 8:30 to 6:30 from August to December, what is that? I mean, that's over 200 hours?
Yes, 200, over 200.
Over 200 hours. Is there a certain type of yoga you took a liking to? Is there, which one did you take a liking to and why?
Before I did teacher training, my personal practice, I traveled all over the world. I've taken yoga seminars in Thailand and Cambodia, and I really had a passion for power yoga. I was younger at that time, I think, and what I enjoyed about that very athletic form of yoga was it was a challenge. It was a physical challenge for me. The older I got, and after having gone through yoga teacher training, I've been able to be more comfortable in my own skin, which has manifested itself through more gentle and restorative yoga. I have a lot of connections, family and friends that have autoimmune diseases, which are pretty debilitating on the one hand, but they can be managed on the other. And so I really took a passion for restorative and gentle yoga because it was an opportunity for me to give back to people who, for a very long time, didn't think that they could do anything, let alone, something physical, air quote.
Now, while you were in Thailand or Cambodia, is that where it was one of those places where you kind of learned about the power yoga, and kind of where was that?
I don't even know, honestly, where I learned about power. I think Thailand, the experience that I had in Thailand and Cambodia with yoga was very earnest. I mean, it was an opportunity for me to take a look at what I thought my yoga practice was, but then kind of honestly question and critique if there was more to my yoga practice than what I had done in the past. And that was a real eye-opening experience for me because it helped me understand that yoga truly is more than just the movement or the asana. It is the breath, meditation, it's non-attachment, it's cleanliness in terms of clean thinking, clean conversations. So it changed my perspective on yoga because I think before that I thought of it very much as a physical experience versus a more holistic experience.
One of the things that kind of brought me to the idea of starting to circulate was like doing meditation using the Headspace app. As often as I could. I think my longest streak was maybe 12 days in a row that I used it, but so every now and then I miss it. But using the app has kind of made me think about, is there more? Like, I can tell that there's a difference in myself by using it, but I can also tell that there's more to that sort of piece that I have. And, one of the things they have you do is, use it in the morning, but also try to use it throughout the day. I haven't been good at doing that. So it sounds like you that experience was like, I've been practicing, but there's more I can kind of get out of this.
Exactly.
Now, I guess that sounds similar to where you said you wanted to give back and kind of go into teaching and things of that nature. Can you talk a little bit about, who helped you? Because some people, when they are starting something new, it can be scary. Can you talk about some of the people and some of the things that you learned by just saying, I'll do this, and some of the things that you were worried about?
Yeah, I think the most recent thing that I've started as an extension of Living Lightly Lifestyle is the aromatherapy skincare brand Acid. So I was most nervous about, I think it's just disappointing somebody, because I had basically been a kitchen beautician for 20 years. I'd make everything that's on my body or my hair, and I just thought that was normal. It wasn't until I was talking to my aunt and uncle one day, and they were asking me about, this product you're putting on your hands, oh my God, that smells so good. What is that? And I was like, it's just this product I make. And then somewhere else in the conversation, they were talking about my hair, which is curly natural. And there's like, how do you get your hair to stay like that? I'm like, it's just this product I make. And they're like, what are you talking about? Everything that you're talking about, you make, and you don't share any of this. And I'm like, I share it with my yoga clients. Like when I do Shavasana at the end of a yoga session or yoga workshop, I always offer a gentle light touch or healing touch or back of the neck massage, something like that. And I've always used my own products. One, because I have real sensitivity to synthetic fragrances, but also I just feel like I could do a better job than what was available. So I have always used my own stuff. And it wasn't until my aunt and uncle brought it to my attention. They're like, wait, this is amazing, and you're not sharing it. Here you talked about wanting to do Living Lightly Lifestyle and teach yoga because you want to share and give back, and you have this awesome thing that is an extension of living lightly, and you're not sharing it.
Well, I haven't done the yoga class yet, but I do use your products, and they are pretty nice. I like them a lot.
Good.
So you mentioned Shavasana.
Yeah, Shavasana.
Shavasana. What is that?
So it is the final resting pose when you are in doing a yoga session. So it's also called corpse pose, but it is the pinnacle pose of any yoga session that you are working up to, but a lot of people, it's like working through. It is, in a lot of yoga circles, it's thought of as the most important posture because it's a restorative and surrendering posture, but you're lying flat on your back, your arms and legs are heavy, and you are rooting your body to the earth while your heart is beaming up towards the sky. So it's extremely relaxing, especially with a lot of yoga asana series that are up-regulating, which are stimulating your sympathetic nervous system, so it's getting your heart rate up. Shavasana is down-regulating or parasympathetic regulating, so it's nice.
So it's funny you say that. So when I meditate, there's this part where they say, like, connect your body to, like, the seat and feel your feet on the floor, your hands in your lap. And it's like a shoot of energy in my body. Yeah. Is that what you're saying? The kind of the similar thing, but opposite, or is that the same thing?
It's not the same thing, but there's some similarities. When you're in Shavasana, some people hate Shavasana because they cannot sit still. Mm-hmm. Those are the people that really struggle with meditating. But the benefit of Shavasana is stillness, silence, quiet. It's the moment between the moment. Or when we're doing an asana series, we say it's the breath between the series.
Okay. It's funny because when I do that on Headspace, it's like sometimes I'm like shaking. I'm like, oh, God, that was crazy. Yeah. It's like addictive where they're telling me to breathe or count my breaths, and I just want to do that the whole time.
Yeah, yeah.
So tell me a moment in your business so far that you've been really proud of.
Well, the most recent thing I'm most proud of is launching a seed. It took a lot of effort to figure out, how best to position the aromatherapy skincare brand, but also how to really continue to be in service of others and others' needs. Mm-hmm. I think it's really unfortunate, but it's a fact that we as a society are more stressed out than we've ever been before. A third of adult humans actually would say that they are not only stressed, but extremely stressed. So it's extremely rewarding for me to do the work that I do because the one thing that we actually need more of is relaxation. And a seed in particular is a really easy to use and affordable, accessible way for everybody to relax just a little bit more.
All right. So can you walk us through all your seed products and the names of them and why, what you would suggest people use them for?
Yeah. So right now I have 2 collections. They're called Peace, which is more of a eucalyptus and jasmine a scent or aroma. And the other is Prosperity, which is definitely more grounding and more earthy fragrances, cedarwood, rosemary, things like that. In both of the collections, I have a healing balm, which is meant to replace a lotion, and it's best used. You can use it anywhere on the body, but it's really for the skin. And then the other product that is available in both collections is called a hydration oil, and the oil can be used on the hair, the skin, nails, anything. It's a jojoba and avocado oil base with a lot of other really high fatty acid oils in there to moisturize the skin, but also it's a great carrier oil to deliver the aromatherapy from the jasmine and the eucalyptus, for example. And then this summer, I'm actually launching I'm really excited. I haven't talked about it yet. I'm launching a series of aromatherapy rollers, and those are really meant to replace like a traditional alcohol-based perfume. So it's something that's really small and compact. You can keep it in a purse or a backpack or a sports bag and, pull it out and roll on the aromatherapy oil whenever you need it. So that's what we're doing right now.
And the idea is that men and women can use all the products, right?
Yes, exactly. It's really meant to be gender neutral. The rollers in particular, I will be launching with 3. One is definitely more of a female-based scent. It's a consumer request. It is a lavender and clary sage scent. The second is more of a gender neutral, and I love it. It's very, very soft and subtle. It's a ylang ylang and lemon. And the third is for my fellas. It's a little sweet, but there's a real, like, once it blends into your skin and it settles into your skin, there's like this unexpected, like, masculine musk tone to it. And that one, it has a lot of things in there, but the primary things are a sage and mint.
And your just for everyone to know out there, your website will be right under this link for what you're listening to. There will be show notes to where you can go to Tiffany's website and support her business. So this is our first podcast and of a series of podcasts. And one of the things I really want to make sure is that this is worth your time, as well as, that it's enjoyable for you as much as it is for me to learn more about your business and what you do. What is something that you kind of want to get out of the podcast to make sure that it executes in ways that you would like it to?
Well, I think for me, what I'm most excited about with participating with the podcast is also supporting another small up-and-coming business. Mm-hmm. I really think that every individual can make a subtle change in the overall trajectory of our economy. You choose with your dollars. If you choose to shop at big box retailers exclusively and never support a local proprietor, you've made a choice, a big choice. Mm-hmm. So for me, I'm most excited about participating with the podcast by supporting a local up-and-coming business and continuing to cross-promote the offerings and services that you're bringing to the community as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, one of the things that we haven't really brought up yet is that you are a single mom.
Oh, yes.
And you are executing on this business.
I'm a mompreneur.
Executing on this business alone.
Yes.
What would you say to some other single moms out there who might be on the fence about, starting a business and are in a situation that you were in not so long ago?
At the end of the day, I would say you need to honor your passions. And being a mom is... it's not something I ever thought I would be. I never was one of those girls that woke up and dreamt about getting married and having kids. But, the universe brought my son to me for a very specific reason. And I enjoy having the opportunity to find out what those reasons are every day. So I would say that, especially as a single mom, you need to do something for yourself. Because being a mom is so all-encompassing. Children unapologetically take 120% of everything from you. So if there's something that you are particularly passionate about, you are thinking about when you go to sleep, you are thinking about when you wake up, it should be taken as a signal from the universe to pay attention. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
One of the things that you wrote down when I sent out this survey for all the podcast hosts that I send to for Circulate, I asked you what will be the name of some blogs you will write about your business. Mm-hmm. And one of the name of the blogs you wrote down is The Art of Relaxation. Mm-hmm. So to kind of wrap up this first podcast, I just wanted to kind of get, because it seems like kind of talking to you a few times, meeting you, it seems like that would be the biggest one that kind of oozes off your personality. And it seems like obviously it seeps into your business. Within that blog, what would you talk about in terms of relaxation and what you've learned and how important it's been for you?
Yeah, I think one topic that I'm particularly passionate about in terms of facilitating relaxation is sound, which is awesome as we are talking through microphones and headsets. But sound healing is really something I'm very passionate about. And so I use Tibetan singing bowls and crystal singing bowls and steel tongue drums with clients to facilitate deeper, more effective, speedy relaxation. And it's an art. I mean, when I was very, very young, let's call it 6 or so, I used to play the piano, and people really looked at that as, wow, you're an artist, you're a musician. It's the same thing to me. It's art of music.
How did you learn about this, or how did you come to kind of enjoy the Tibetan or everything you just mentioned? I mean, is that a part of the yoga practice? Is that something you...
It is part of who I am. I think I've always been an artist, and my palette and canvas just continues to evolve and change. People are my canvas now, and I use a variety of techniques, or what you might, the analogy with a painter would be I use oils one day, and then I'm a watercolor painter, and then I'm a pencil artist. And so I have a lot of tricks in my bag that I like to put out. Yeah.
No pun intended. Yeah. All right, so this was an awesome first episode. Could you just real quick talk about how people can reach you and find you and contact you?
So I am really most active on Instagram. I don't tweet. I don't do the Twitter. But I am on Instagram. You can find me at Living Lightly Lifestyle, as well as A Seed, Mind, Body on Instagram. And then you can always check me out on my website, livinglightlylifestyle.com. There's more information on my services. You can shop A Seed there, as well as there's a full calendar of all of the events that I will be participating with for the 2018 season around Cleveland, Chicago, New York.
All right, awesome. Thank you. This is episode 1 with Tiffany, and thanks everyone for listening. Hey everyone, thanks for listening to episode 1 of the Tiffany Wilburn series on Circulate. Please come back for next week when Tiffany talks about her plant-based diet, being an introvert that is also a business owner, as well as some more about her upcoming events. Appreciate your support. Some of the ways you can support the show is checking out our Patreon account. We also have merchandise and apparel on the website, and as well as just spreading the word, which is something that is free to do. So hopefully you guys can continue to support the show and spread the word. And also let us know any questions you might have for Tiffany or myself, anything that you would like the podcast to maybe do differently. And I appreciate your support, and hopefully we see you next week. Thanks.